How's it going, fellow airsofters? SDairsoftreviews is back after an incredibly long vacation, and we're bringing you our review today of the Cyma AK47 Tactical folding stock. Alright, now when you buy this gun, your package is going to include an 8.4 volt stick-type battery, a cleaning rod, this crappy plastic foldable foregrip, which I personally think is pretty ugly, but it's up to you whether or not you use it. Your usual AEG battery charger, made in China, generally pretty bad. I recommend buying a smart charger like this one. Front side adjustment tool, and this 600 round waffle type AK high cap, which I personally liked and bought a second one of. And of course, the gun itself. Alright, now the first thing you'll probably notice when you get this gun is the stock. As far as AK stocks go, it looks a little bit unusual. For the real steel AK, it's manufactured by a company called Tapco, and I'd say it looks a little similar to a G36 stock. The real difference here, though, is that the way the G36 stock locks onto that clip, and that's how it's held into place, the Tapco stock rolls up into place, and that's how it sticks. Once it's in place, though, you should have no problems with wobble, and as far as skirmishing goes, you should be fine. It won't pop out of place until you feel like folding it back, which is very easy. Next, you've got your crappy metal sling point, which is very flimsy. I wouldn't trust it. A plastic ergo pistol grip, which is very comfortable, but feels a little cheap. Your trigger is metal, your trigger guard is metal, your magazine release is metal. Both your receivers are metal. Your front sight is metal, although I've heard these fall off Cyma AKs a lot. Your rails are plastic, and your little added rail segments feel very, very cheap, and up close they look really cheap. But as far as mounting things go, they work fine. Your barrel, gas tube, and fake cleaning rod are all metal, and actually look relatively nice. Your barrel even has a texture to it, which is kind of cool. And your front sight, lastly, is metal. And this little shitty flash hider is plastic. Alright, now a little basic operation for the beginners. To install the battery in this gun, you're going to want to press this button in right here, and then slide your upper receiver off, and you can then put your battery in this compartment. It's relatively small, so you can only fit a stick-type battery, like the one that comes with the gun, or a LiPo. And then, once you get that in there, it's a little difficult at first, but you're going to want to mesh your upper right in that little corner, get it in there, and then just slam down on it, and it should stick right into place. Alright, other basic operations. For your fire control, up is safe, middle is automatic, and all the way down is semi. To operate your magazine release, you just push this in towards the magazine and roll it out. And to place one in, you do just the opposite by hooking it up here and rolling it in. To adjust your hop-up, just pull your charging handle back, and then your little hop-up lever is right there. You pull it back to do hop, and forward to get rid of hop. As far as things I like about this gun go, the pistol grip is really comfortable. It's got a really practical stock. The 600 round AK high cap is super convenient when you compare it to the 300 round M4 high caps. You have plenty of rail space for your lights, lasers, red dots, war grips. It's accurate, it's powerful, it's pretty reliable. I've never seen a Cyma AK die personally, though I'm sure they do. And also, I just think the hop-up is really convenient compared to the M4 style. As far as things I don't like on the gun, even though they're reliable and will shoot for just about ever, small pieces on them tend to break off, such as your rear sight. Those tend to break a lot. I've heard of a couple front sights falling off. These little plastic rail segments will usually break off, which honestly isn't too big of a deal because they look pretty cheap anyways. The finish looks great when you first get it, but it gets scuffed up real fast, which Some people like a scuffed up AK, but if you're someone who likes their gun looking really nice, then that might be an issue. This little Kalashnikov sticker, I'm not real big on. I think it's a little ugly and it stands out pretty well on the gun. I guess that's personal taste. The stock I personally think is pretty ugly, but again, that's personal taste. All the plastics on the gun are real cheap feeling, and all the metal you can tell is kind of just your standard pot metal. Overall, I'd say the Cyma AK Tactical is a great beginner gun, or as a backup gun for someone who's just looking for something for when their primary goes down. On most websites, it's listed as shooting between 350 and 400. This one I personally chronoed at 428, which is a little hot for some fields, so just bear that in mind. Ballpark retail is about $150. It's a great gun for that price, and I would definitely recommend it. This is SDairsoftreviews Reviews. Don't forget to rate, subscribe. We'll have some videos coming up with some great guns. Most of all, thanks for watching. Have a good one.